Life has a strange way of filling our minds with clutter. Every day, we wake up carrying yesterday's worries, tomorrow's fears, and today's distractions. Our thoughts run wild. What will people think of me? What if I fail? What if I am not good enough? And in this storm of thoughts, we forget the simplest truth. Our mind has limitless potential, but only if we empty it of the noise. This is the story of a young man named Adrian, and how his journey to discover the meaning of an empty mind changed his life forever. Adrian grew up in a busy city where success was defined by money, fame, and status. His parents wanted him to become a lawyer, his friends bragged about the cars they drove, and society constantly shouted at him to compete harder, run faster, and never stop climbing. By the time Adrian turned 25, he was exhausted. He had a decent job, but every day felt like running on a treadmill that never stopped. He couldn't rest. His head was filled with doubts, comparisons, and endless voices telling him he wasn't enough. One evening, after yet another day of frustration at work, Adrian walked aimlessly into the older part of the city. There, tucked between quiet alleys, was a small tea house. Its wooden sign creaked in the breeze. Out of curiosity, Adrian stepped inside. The air smelled of herbs, and the only sound was the gentle boiling of water. At a corner table sat an elderly man with silver hair, dressed in simple clothes, sipping tea with calmness as if the world outside didn't exist. The old man looked up, smiled, and gestured for Adrian to join him. Without knowing why, Adrian sat. "You seem troubled, young man," the elder said. His voice was calm, steady, almost like the sound of flowing water. Adrian sighed. "I am tired. My mind is a battlefield. I cannot find peace, no matter what I do. Everyone expects me to be something, but I don't even know who I am anymore." The elder poured Adrian a cup of tea and handed it to him. "Your mind," he said, "is like this cup." He then began to pour tea into Adrian's cup. The cup filled, and then overflowed, spilling tea all over the table. Adrian jumped back. "Stop, it's already full. It cannot hold any more." The old man smiled knowingly. "Exactly. Your mind is the same, full of doubts, fears, and judgments. You want to receive wisdom, but your cup is overflowing. First, you must empty it." Adrian frowned. "Empty it? How do I empty my mind?" The elder leaned closer and whispered, "Silence, presence, letting go." Emptying your mind does not mean having no thoughts. It means releasing the ones that don't serve you, so space is made for truth to enter. That night, Adrian went home but could not sleep. The words "empty your mind" echoed inside him. For the first time, he began to notice how many useless thoughts lived in his head. Worries about what people thought, fear of the future, anger at the past. He realized he had been carrying them like heavy stones in a backpack he never removed. The next morning, he woke up early and decided to try something new. He sat on the floor, closed his eyes, and focused only on his breathing. His mind rebelled, throwing endless distractions at him, but whenever a thought appeared, he reminded himself, "Empty your mind." At first, it felt impossible, but slowly, day by day, he discovered silence within the noise. Weeks passed. Adrian kept returning to the tea house, asking the elder questions. Each time, the elder would remind him of the same principle. A cluttered mind cannot see clearly. An empty mind is not weakness, it is readiness. When your mind is empty, it becomes like water, flexible, calm, and powerful. Adrian began applying this in his daily life. At work, instead of panicking about deadlines, he emptied his mind of fear and focused only on the task before him. Suddenly, he became more efficient, more creative. When friends compared their lives to his, he emptied his mind of jealousy and remembered that his journey was unique. One day, his boss handed him a huge project, one that others were too afraid to take. Normally, Adrian would have drowned in self-doubt, but now, he emptied his mind of fear, breathed deeply, and took it step by step. To everyone's surprise, he completed the project brilliantly. His confidence grew, not because his ego inflated, but because he had learned the art of clarity. Months later, Adrian returned to the tea house, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Master," he said, "I feel like a new person. But there is one thing I still don't understand. If the goal is to empty my mind, Won't that leave me with nothing? No ambition, no dreams? The elder chuckled. Emptying your mind doesn't mean abandoning dreams. It means clearing away the noise so you can hear your true dream. When a farmer clears weeds from the field, does he destroy the soil? No, he makes space for the seed to grow. Your mind is the soil. Empty it, and then plant the right seeds. That night, Adrian finally understood. His old dreams were not truly his if they were planted by society, family, and comparison. But now, with his mind empty, he listened to his heart. He wanted to build a small school for children who could not afford education, to give them tools to shape their futures. It was not glamorous. It would not make him rich, but it was his true calling. Years passed, and Adrian built that school. Children laughed in classrooms that once were empty lots. Parents blessed him. He found joy not in competing with others but in fulfilling his own purpose. Whenever life became stressful, he remembered the teacup, overflowing, and he smiled. He had learned to pour out the unnecessary and keep only what mattered. One day, much older now, Adrian returned to that same tea house, but the elder was gone. In his place was a simple note on the table. It read, "To my studenta, when you empty your mind, you discover the fullness of life. Pass it on." Adrian closed his eyes, and for the first time in his life, he felt completely free.